G'day Cotton, California Kitchen. Nick Goldschmidt here, improvising on a couple of wines that you guys are having. So the first wine you have is Chelsea Goldschmidt. Chelsea is my oldest daughter. She does genome sequencing. She's just finished a master's in biology, and the year was 2000, and we made wine together. I have 5 children. I make a wine with each one of my daughters. So the oldest daughter is Chelsea, second one is Catherine, and the third one is Hillary. I don't make wines with my sons, although one's a winemaker. But Chelsea and the rest of the kids, we went out, and I was explaining to them that when I lived in Chile back in the late 80s, that we used to make wine without electricity because we had a dictator back then. His name was Augustin Pinochet, and he used to cut off oil, power, water, and everything else like that to keep, to stop the peasants from revolting. And so making wine without electricity was kind of difficult. So I was telling my kids how to do it, so we decided in 2000 to go out and do it. So we hand harvested, hand destemmed, which is a pain in the neck, pigeage, punched down, and we basket pressed, and we made this wine, and we call it 5 Gold Hands Unplugged, and we make 1 barrel a year. So in 2001, Chelsea said to me, "You know what, Dad, I'd love to make wine with you." And as a father, that's awesome because children or daughters don't talk to their fathers between the ages of 13 and 20. So to have a family project together was fantastic. So when Chelsea was 2, unfortunately, I have the Catherine bottle today, but when Chelsea was 2, I traced her in the head and she coloured it in, and that's where the label comes from. And we chose to make Merlot, which is her favourite grape variety, and we make it in a Cabernet Drinkers Merlot because this vineyard is a vineyard I've been working on since 1991, so I know how it's going to be in a good year and a bad year, but it has a little bit of clay. And when you have clay, you have really good water holder capacity because berries of Merlot are a little bit bigger than Cabernet. So we want them to remain in really good turgor all the way through. So clay holds water for a little bit longer, and it keeps that berry in really good condition so that when we bring it into the winery, we can extract the heck out of it and make it a Cabernet Drinkers Merlot. And I assure you, Chelsea drinks it nightly. And it's been such a great honor and privilege to make wine with her. And it's called Guidestone Rise, which is named, it's sort of a mockery on the brand that we used to make from there, but we'll leave it at that. The second one you're going to taste is, and with something I'm really proud of, and we only make 4 barrels, is Goldschmidt Oakville Game Ranch Plus. Now in front of me, I have the regular Game Ranch. I'm sorry, I don't have the Plus because I'm sitting here in Chile and I don't happen to have that. But I am drinking, I am toasting you guys. California cotton, that's what I smell. Anyway, this vineyard, if you drive down Oakville Cross, you'll see Opus on your left, Napa Wine Company on your right. Keep driving towards Silverado Trail. You'll go past Groth on your left, Silver Oak on your right, and then you'll get to Plumpjack. Right opposite Plumpjack is this little vineyard. Steep vineyard facing north, which is really important because north facing means a little bit cooler than south or west. And of course, with the drought and the heat that we're getting, being north facing gives us this little bit more chance to sort of hang that fruit out there for a little bit more texture, a little bit more tannin ripeness, and acid decrease, etc. So more flavor, a little less tannin, good consumption of tannin, so making that wine really rich. So if you think about Napa Valley, Oakville in particular, because this is a sub-region, there's a single vineyard, only 4 barrels, as I said. It's going to give you sort of black cherry, blueberry, and a little bit of plum. And then because it's Oakville, it's going to give you a little bit more texture, so you're going to get this silkiness and this roundness. Now the difference between the Plus wine and the regular Game Ranch is there's 5 differences. Number 1, it comes from the outside 2 rows. The outside rows have more vigor because there's no competition with other vines, so they produce a lot of canopy and only a little bit of crop. Secondly, we age the wine for 3 years, so 1 year longer than this, and it goes into new barrels twice. So we put it in a new barrel and then we rack it and put it back into a new barrel after a couple of years, so that when we come time to bottle it in the 3rd year, we get a lot of roundness, a lot of richness, really, really special. Then the other 2 things are really tricky. So what we do is we increase this thing called volatile acidity. All wine has VA, ethyl acetate, and acetic acid. We increase that really quickly in the first 3 months to what you would normally get in a bottle of wine, So after 3 years, you get this really big black cherry, sort of licoricey black fruit character in the nose. Really, really amazing. And then the last thing, the fifth thing what we do is we naturally press it. We actually don't press these grapes. We send that to another project, but we let the grapes naturally press over a period of about 3 days. And so you get this big, opulent, rich, intense, but at the same time you get this fine-tuned delicacy. And if you think about the price that you're going to sell this wine at, and you think about who the neighbors are, which is Screaming Eagle, Harlan, Maiden, Rudd, as I said, Plumpjack right across the street, Opus. I mean, you're talking about really expensive wines from the heart of Napa Valley, but they're from Oakville. Anyway, sorry I don't have them, but the Chelsea Goldschmidt Merlot from Guidestone Rise in the Alexander Valley. A lot of big, bold, red cherry Cabernet type wine for a Merlot. And then the Goldschmidt PLUS Oakville that you'll also get to enjoy, which is really, really intense. A lot of black fruit and supple tannins, but made in a really unique way. Anyway, really appreciate it. I wish I was there with you guys. And thanks so much for your attention, and good luck out there supporting a small family business like ours. Cheers.